Oh, shoot. Okay. Yes, it's Thursday. And we in here. I want to welcome Kimmy Love and Joy. I see you, sis. Welcome, baby. Long time no see. Shout out to my Joy Hall for the one time lieutenant up in this piece. Me, Jackie, Lisa G. Yes. Did I miss anybody? Liddy Rivers. Hi, y'all. What happened there? Okay. It's the midday. Oh, baby. And we got some catching up that we have to do. Okay. Yes. I thought to myself, goodness gracious. Somebody got to come out and speak on this here thing. Now, I want to put some disclaimers out before we get started. The Fair Use Act is put in place. Okay. Any and everything we talk about, listen, strictly for entertainment, educational purposes only. We don't know these folk, okay? But we're going to get into it about these celebrities. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to hit me on the back end, roses@gmail.com, right in front of you. Thumbs up the live for the one time, okay? Yep, thumbs me up. Now, it's important, all right, that I get you all to support these middays. So if you're wondering what my support credentials are, they will be floating occasionally on the ticker down below. Where my support is at is the question. Hammer down. Okay. Don't forget, we do have a Stop the Bullying movement, and enough is enough movement. Enough is enough. And enough is enough movement. Okay. You can find that petition on change.org. I actually have some great news updating on that petition, by the way, so hopefully I don't forget, okay? And if you aren't able to locate the petition through the links in the chat right now, you can always head over to my community post and you'll find that direct link over there as well, okay? So the title of this video is Vabbing, Witchcraft on TikTok. Now I want to know how many of y'all have a TikTok account. Okay, let me tell y'all, I got to be honest. Shout out to Goop Dude, Toya, Black Queen, Gemini. Hey, y'all. Okay. Let me just go ahead and make it clear. All right. It took me a minute. It took me a minute to even look at TikTok. And I'm just going to go ahead and be honest. Okay. First of all, I ain't worried about how y'all doing. How y'all feeling? All right. It's a beautiful midday. Baby, we ain't gonna have it no other way, okay? Thumbs up is live. Feel free to support the channel, okay? We are streaming on both platforms today. On today we are, okay? So if any other mods pop in the live, y'all split on up for me, one on one channel, a few on the other channel, however y'all want to do it, but we ain't worried about a whole lot, okay? So yes, let me go ahead and put my disclaimer up. And I want to tell y'all why it took me so long to even look at TikTok. Now, y'all know I'm old school. I have an Instagram. I see some folk that I know and love from Instagram have made their way on over here in Liddy City. We're so glad to have you. Don't forget about the membership. It goes down. As a matter of fact, we have a special members only live scheduled for tomorrow. It's going to be lit. Okay, hammer down. Y'all know I don't play. We have a good old time. And we are a family. For those that don't know about it, you're going to learn about it on today, okay? We a family. Now, before we get into it, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Support is essential. I be trying, y'all. I be trying because I realize the wicked times that we are in right now. And it's so easy, let's just talk. Let's have grown people talk right now. Thumbs me up, high energy up in the building. Feel free to say whatever. Say whatever you want in the comments, okay? Let's get this where we need to be. But I want to talk really quick. Y'all, we heard this all our life. Hey, VT, we heard, it's the last days, AKA the end times. Listen, there's an energy out here. And this, this ain't really got nothing to do with the sun, the moon, and the stars, even though we're never going to disrespect that energy. It is a very powerful source, okay? But what I'd like to talk about is, other things, other energies that have been released in this realm we call earth, where we live and dwell from generation to generation. The powers that be, them peoples that's in charge of everything, like the media, your networks, your food supply, your air supply, hot diggity dog, and even your weather. Okay. They done sprinkled a little something extra. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a damn 30-foot giant driving in a damn Tesla, hammer down. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you just don't know what these people are up to, but I can definitely guarantee you that there's a hell of an energy out here, and it's best to just be aware and have control. Okay. I want to shout out Winter Heat, my baby, much love. I got to shout out Beefcake. What up, Beefy? Okay. We in here. So, we've always heard it. It's the end days. It's the end times. But not only that, things are going on right in front of our face, and it's become normalized. And I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep pounding it in your head, because it's time to wake up. You have to be spiritually inclined. Now, a lot of people like to play with that word spirituality. Christians like to demonize the word spirituality, or any denomination. Some of us are non-denominational. That would be me. I love me some God, aka God. Okay. The Messiah. Yes. The Elohim, some would call. Yes. That infinite positive energy, the beginning and the end. Local love her some of that. Okay. But I don't believe in all that extra stuff. And that shouldn't be no secret, because I've made that clear from day one. That's my choice. That's how I choose to live my life. And it's also due to, my genial background. Okay. And when you know what you know, there is no turning back. But I don't knock anybody that has some type of religious background. That's their business. Okay. Because all religion is about control and order. Okay. But I suggest everybody to get into being freely spirited. You understand? And so, as I said, a lot of these denominations like to downplay spirituality. They've turned it into something that is negative, and that is not true. Okay. What is the spirit? The spirit is what guides you. It's the root word of spirituality. It has nothing to do with something negative. But according and pertaining to the people that practice certain levels of spirituality, then that would be a whole nother story on a whole nother topic. So we titled this video Witchcraft on TikTok, right? Now, we know a lot of these modern day witches. We about to get into it. Wait a minute. I almost forgot. I got to shout out, because listen, I don't do this a lot. Okay. It's almost time for back to school. Okay. We really got to get in that bag. I truly appreciate all my supporters, but I'm asking for more support on these midday shows as I try to battle with my spirit. It's not all about negativity. You can go anywhere and find that. Let's have a balance here. Okay. And in order for me to know that y'all enjoy these middays, support is needed. That's it. That's all. Do what you can if you can. That's it. That's all. And so, speaking of that, I want to shout out Goop Doo, hammer down for the one time. Okay. Beautiful, intelligent young woman who's had my back since she knew what my back was. Okay. Appreciate you, Goopy. All right. For watering that money tree.
Here comes the money. Here we go.
Oh, it's acting up. It's okay. We rebuke all negative spirits and entities from this live. Okay, it's a beautiful day. But I do appreciate that support, Goop Doo. I do. Okay. I want to shout out my beautiful mod, Roz. Okay. One of my day one ladies, my sister, spiritually. All right. Period, Poopy. Okay. And so hopefully I broke that down pertaining to spirituality. People need to edify and educate themselves on, etymologies and root words, the original meanings, the original terminologies for certain things that we say and even use in this day. It ain't no game. Okay. Now we're talking about spirituality and the certain different levels. You have to differentiate. Okay. There's nothing demonic, evil, or wicked about spirituality. If you have a soul, then you should have a spirit that guides it. Period. Point blank. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, we are non-denominational. We are not religious. We are free thinkers and free spirits, even though we are God-fearing. Okay. And I could really, really, really get deep with that. If I really told y'all what that word God really meant, it's not even powerful enough to describe that infinite energy that was the beginning and shall be the end. Okay, even the term God is paganized, but we have to use it because that's what people relate to. But on our memberships, it is a determination of mine to get down to what these words really mean and how the English language is so tricky with the things that they say and what they have embedded and pounded in our mind that, it's very hard for us to get away from certain verbiages. Okay. But God isn't even the correct terminology. Okay. How many of you all in the building know the real word for that infinite energy? If you have a Bible, 15, 16, 11, if you have a Bible, it should be replaced. The 3-letter word God would be replaced with 3 more letters, and it's not going to be God. How many of you all know or what that other 3-letter word is in reference to the Almighty? Let's see how woke y'all. Come on in, Lieutenant. You understand me? Let me leave that hammer alone. I'm going to have to hide it again. I get silly with that hammer because I love, to see when people are woke out here. And so let's start by replacing the word God with the word Yah. Okay. Let's just get into that. There wasn't even a G back in those days, along with the J back in those days. Okay. So Yah, Y-A-H would be the correct term. Okay. For that loving spirit, that good spirit, that over everything, even evil spirit. Okay. But we've been taught to call it God. And if you're into the scriptures, you know that even the scriptures itself mentions that there are many gods, even evil gods. Okay. There are feminine gods, masculine gods. There are gods of another realm that we couldn't even identify. Okay, so it can get really, really deep. That's why you don't want to just dumb down that almighty power with just giving it the word God. But that's what we have been taught to do. And this is why so much destruction and deflation is going on, not only in the world, but in our community within itself. Okay, you got to call the right God by the name that it is. Now, a lot of us would choose to do that in private. I know I do. Okay. And a lot of times we say things so that the people can relate. I understand that as well. But right now, today is the time to start getting more focused. Okay. And putting in a lot more energy into that spirit that you actually do call on and worship and depend upon and follow in its lead. Okay. I'm not here to tell nobody what God that is, who that is, but everybody that know what I'm talking about. You understand? So when I say we are free thinkers, there's nothing wicked about that. That means that I don't succumb to Christianity. Okay. But I respect those that do. That's their business. That means that I don't succumb to being Muslim, but I respect their discipline. That's it. That's all. Okay. So I am no denomination, but am Yah fearing. That's it. That's all. Okay. I'm not going to be subject to just one way. Period, point blank. Okay. I also believe in the power that Yah has instilled in me. If there's a will, there's a way. Okay. And we all know Yah only helps the willing. So you can't be sitting around saying, oh, God's going to make a way. God's going to make a way without any works. Okay. What is faith without works? If you have the ability to do it, do it. Right. But there are some things that are simply off limits. Okay. Some things are off limits. Right. And, it was put on my spirit yesterday to do this video because I saw something going viral on TikTok that honestly disturbed me, y'all. As I mentioned, I'm just now even looking at TikTok, and I'm going to tell you why. So my children know how invested and how much I loved and was groomed by my grandmother, who is, deceased and has been deceased for a couple of years. However, I feel like her spirit is still around. And whatever it was, she taught me, I have it. Okay. And so there's this woman on TikTok. She's 96 years old. The name of her channel here on YouTube is called Lottery and Frappes, I believe. Her name is Holla, I holla, okay, which is a very old term. We just brought it back to life. Holla, 96-year-old Black goddess, okay? This woman, baby, if you don't watch her and cry, if you don't watch her and laugh, I don't know what to tell you. Who are you? Okay, something just great about this woman, something very special about this woman. Now, it has been said that she's in the hospital right now, but I mean, at 96, I mean, come on, that's almost a century. So she's definitely spent a lot of time here on earth, and she seemed to be very pleasant to listen to, and watch. Very intriguing little lady. Okay. And so when my daughter, and I couldn't make this up if I wanted to, when my daughter showed me her, I immediately went and download TikTok just so I could watch her. And so that's been going on for about 2 months. Okay. Hammer down. But of course, you can't help but to see other things. All right. And we're going to get into what those other things are. So hopefully everybody is doing okay. We just chit-chatting. We're going to do a little bit of blog hogging for the one time. Okay. But first I want to shout out Lieutenant, my mind. Thank you for watering that money tree, sugar. Ooh, child, this thing is cutting up, but it ain't gonna stop us, okay? So anyway, as I mentioned, and I also want to thank you for hitting that Cash App too, baby. Let's get into it for the 2 times. All right, it's just that simple. So what did I say? I said some things are off limits, right? Like sorcery, okay? Going to somebody that's going to tell you about your life. I don't know how many of you all have done that, okay? Hopefully you have rebuked that. I don't want nobody telling me about my life, okay? I understand that people read tarot cards and get into all type of different things, but you never know what you're putting on your life, on your spirit, or in your future when you do things like that. As a matter of fact, if you believe in a higher power, why do you even need things like that? If you believe in yourself, why do you even need things like that? So there are many different reasons why people do what they do, okay? And, I feel like whatever we do, if it wasn't the right choice, it can be corrected at some point in time with a whole lot of faith and a whole lot of works, right? But witchcraft, right? There's something called vabbing, Vabbing, witchcraft on TikTok. Now, what I did do is a little research. I saw a lot of people talking about this. I saw a lot of these people coming out, women specifically coming out and talking about how, now, if I have any mods in here that can put the trigger warning in, the disclaimer out, I'm going to go ahead and put the banner up once again because it might get a little bit graphic, okay? But I couldn't make this stuff up if I wanted to. These are things that are going on right now, okay? How many of you all know what pheromones are? Pheromones, right? We all have hormones. If you're masculine, you got masculine hormones. If you're feminine, you have feminine hormones. And if you're in between, I guess you got a little bit of both. Family damn. I don't know. Okay. But I know that as people, so to speak, we have certain things that were given to us by the graces of nature. Okay. Like certain scents, certain smells, certain intuitions, right? Certain gifts. Okay. And then there's that natural thing like body fluid. Okay. So vabbing is this new thing that has been introduced by a young woman. Okay. Now, first of all, wait a minute. Let's go back. It's been reintroduced. Okay. We're talking about so-called witchcraft here. Now, who is the author of witchcraft? Somebody named Aleister McCrawley. Okay. He was a high-ranking Satanist. He has written many books, okay, on how to practice witchcraft and different levels of Satanism. Okay, it's not a joke. All right. As a matter of fact, many of the occult life involving your celebrities and your media personalities actually live by this certain satanic lifestyle. They worship things like the Baphomet and Satan himself, okay, which can be very tricky because we know Satan is a shapeshifter, okay? But I don't want to exclude women from that as well. And so a wicked woman would absolutely be identified as a witch. I mean, we've had encounters with a few of them on this YouTube right here today, okay? Witchery is real. Witchcraft is real. Spells and potions are real. Trickery is real. Warlocks are real. All of that stuff is real. Okay. Just because you can't see it and they don't call themselves that, it's not by what you call yourself. It's about how you live. Okay. And so if you're practicing satanic rituals, then you're a witch if you're a female. Okay. And so every woman has pheromones. Every man has pheromones. Okay. These are certain hormones that get released when you are attracted to something or aroused by something. So normally pheromones in a man or a woman would be released. Those hormones would be released when it's time for sexual engagement. Okay. Or if you look at something and you start getting aroused, you know how a lot of times when people are in new relationships, they say, oh, yes, Black Queen Gemini, great. And yes, great input. Animals too. Yes. Hey, Queen and my baby. Yes, y'all be sure to please thumbs up the live. I'm asking everybody to support the Cash App today. If you can, it's very important. We on a mission here. Okay, let me know you like these midday shows. All right, no pressure though. Do what you can. So Black Queen Gemini put animals too. Queen and Salad said pure wickedness. Yes, I agree. Now, it's not wicked that we have these pheromones or these hormones. That's natural. We can't help it. That's what the good God gave us. Okay, for the right time and for the the right thing. All right, not to go around tricking people or purposely enticing people. So this new word, this new age word in this new world of an order is called vabbing, Vabbing. Okay, it has went viral not only on TikTok, but you can search around on YouTube and find many women coming out telling their testimony about how they tried this vabbing thing. Okay, and it actually worked. So those hormones, those pheromones, right, which is basically body fluid, body secretions, okay, coming from the penile area or the vagina, whatever that is, all right. And it was first mentioned, back in the ancient times from, different, I would say, satanic rituals, okay. It's all about potions and motions, spells and potions, okay. From back in the day, all right, even stemming from before the Egyptian time, all right. But Aleister McCrawley, which was, he's world renowned, like, the Masons, they pretty much worship these books that he wrote, and they live by, these things that he reintroduced from ancient times. Okay. And don't think that women don't read these books as well. So this woman, okay, her name is, oh my goodness, Shan Boodram. Okay. She is the woman that is in the middle of this banner right here. Okay. This light-skinned woman, looks like a biracial, multiracial woman. All right. Very beautiful woman. Okay. But beauty is only skin deep. Okay. And she has a really big YouTube channel, I discovered after doing further research. But she also has went viral for showing people how to vab. Okay. So what I'd like to do is let you all, after you thumbs up the live for me, I'd like for you all to take a listen. And I think I have a quick little visual for you all as well. Okay. I want you guys to take a listen to some of these women who saw Shan. They've actually read her books and watched her channel and listened to her instruct young women. Now think about the type of crowd that's on TikTok. Young girls, my daughter, your kids, your nieces, your nephews, even you as an older person. We don't want to hear that and see that. But in a younger mind, when you don't know no better, you don't do any better. Okay. So people think, oh, okay, well, body fluid must not be nothing wrong with that. It's natural. Well, it is if you're not using it in the right way. Okay. Your body naturally secretes these fluids at the right time on its own. Why do you have to go digging and reaching, bottling and packaging your body fluid to try to attract and entice people? So that's what vabbing is. Vabbing is a satanic ritual, a potion motion type of a thing, a form of witchcraft that stemmed from ancient times that was reintroduced from Aleister McCrawley and reintroduced again by this woman named Shan in front of us, and produced on this internet for the youth and yourself to grasp as a way to attract not just the opposite sex, but any sex. Okay. So this woman and other women are advising people in this day to take a little coochie juice. Okay. Put it on their wrist like they would perfume, or take a little coochie juice and put it on the back of their neck or the side of their neck, all of your pulse points, right? Just like you would do a perfume. And these women are guaranteeing that if you do this, you will be attracting whatever. Okay. Men and women. It doesn't have any sexual bias involved. Okay. Now, Black Queen Gemini put something very important in the comments. All right. Even animals have pheromones. It's a sexual hormone. It's an arousal hormone. It's an attraction hormone. Okay. It's that natural come get me smell. All right. That should be kept sacred. Okay. I would suggest that, any and all rebuke that type of a ritual. Okay. You never know what you're asking for. So let's just take a quick look. I'm going to put a visual up here as you guys listen to a talk show that this Shan lady was on not too long ago, bragging about this so-called vabbing thing. Vabbing, pronounce it however you like. Either way, it's a joke. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get you all to be able to see it. I'm trying to share the screen a different way, so bear with me just in case. It might take me a try or two. Hey, Liddy City, baby. Buck the dumb chat. Yeah, shout out to all my minds. Feel free to thumbs up the live, y'all. It's free. Okay, share me out if you can. I feel like this is an important message. We know there's a lot of witchery going on, even from the ones that say they aren't witches. We disagree. If you act like one, then hot damn it, you're one. Okay. But let's see if we can get into this. Okay, that's the wrong one. I'm gonna have to share a different way. Give me just 1 second, y'all. I'll see y'all in the comments. Hey, Juicy Jackie. Now, I do want to know you guys' input. How do y'all feel about that? Have you all ever heard, does any of my OG ladies up in here, or even, new ladies, has anybody ever heard of this before now? Did you ever hear about it when you were growing up? Have you ever heard about this before? I'd really like to know. Okay. When I saw this, my jaw dropped. I almost, hey, Miss Gail, my love, hammer down. I almost told my daughter, log out. Okay, log out of that, even though she didn't know about it. Okay, but who's to say she won't come across something like that? I don't want her introduced to that type of a joke. Hey, Carmilla. Hey, Kanisha, baby. And so I'm looking in the chat for anybody that has ever heard of, anything like this before. If you have, let me know. Okay, let's take a listen really quick at the woman who reintroduced this witchcraft, to the industry or to the media. Okay.
Because I'm so excited to chat with you both. Cuffing season is upon us, okay? But there is no love like self-love, right? And I feel like you two are so confident.
Right.
What do you do to
become... the three of us, really? It's like the whole audience, too.
Because that's right.
But what do you do to make yourselves feel so good and confident? Chris, I'll start with you.
I mean, I take good care of myself. I go for a lot of pedicures.
Mm-hmm.
I go for a lot of manicures, manscape things, make sure everything's nice and tight.
Oh.
But yeah, a little nail polish never hurt anybody.
I love that. Are your nails done right now?
Not at the moment.
Your nails look done.
Thank you. No, I had to, no polish anyways. I had to remove the polish because we had some sexy time scenes on This Is Us.
And Michelle, what about you?
I gotta know more about the manscaping routine.
I know.
Plus why you can't wear nail polish. What were you guys doing during this scene?
I know.
Well,
okay, I have to watch.
We were in a hotel room and my character didn't have any shoes on. So he doesn't necessarily have the same type of routine that I have.
Then you need to be upgraded because you're fantastic.
Yeah. First of all, men, there are men here. I heard the ladies scream. Men, let me hear you. Hey, there's two. You're the ones who need the pedicure.
Yes. All right, so my self-care is pretty much a copy and paste of what you've done. But on special days, I like to give myself an extra boost of confidence. And so I vab on very special occasions.
You what now?
Allow me to explain. Okay. So vabbing is when you take your own natural lubrication and you apply it like perfume. So all your pressure points, and so that it distributes throughout your body just like any other perfume would.
Wait, I have so many.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Here goes the rest of the episode.
We don't need to get into this for a second.
Go on.
Have you heard of this? I have never heard of this. Did you make this up?
I did not make this up.
This is a thing.
This is a thing. I didn't make the word up. Actually, 2 comedians in New York made the word up. I have been doing this, though, for about 10 years on and off. It's not like an everyday thing. It's a once in a while. Yeah.
Like twice a day application.
Yeah. It's a once in a while. Like, I want to go out and feel bold. I want to feel confident today. And I want to leave a little piece of me wherever I go.
So you actually feel the difference?
I think the same way that some people think eating pineapples makes them feel more confident in being extra intimate with their partner.
Yeah.
Wait, why?
Yo, this is a 1:35 a.m. show. You are getting your money's worth on this episode. I tell you.
Because they believe that it makes them taste better.
Is that
while
true?
Getting oral. It is not scientifically proven to be true. Probiotics, yes. Anything that balances the pH, absolutely. Water, of course. A plant-based diet. Hello, honey. But pineapple, there's not really been any proof.
So vegetarians, you mean?
Yes.
I like to gab. It's where I rub guacamole in my beard.
I love that you're so bold and honest with this. I've never heard this. I'm gonna have to Google this. So this is like a thing.
Yeah, well, it's a thing. It's not for everybody, for sure, and it's absolutely only something that you do when after you've gotten checked. Make sure that you're healthy and that you're good. Wash your hands afterwards, of course. But yes, it's just on your neck. So it's a little secret just between you and whoever gets extra close.
Has anyone ever said, "What is that? What is that intoxicating?"
I'm not gonna lie. At the club, it tends to bring all the genders to the yard.
So if you listen, she says, you know, it's a little secret thing, when in actuality, it's not really a secret. It's actually a form of witchcraft. It's a satanic ritual, an ancient satanic ritual that, you know, is practiced by Satanists and witches. Okay. And so in this day, they have this saying that there's good witches and bad witches. I don't know if that's true or not. I just know I don't want to be labeled as a witch at all. Okay. And then you also heard her mention that there are good witches and bad witches. Okay. Now, this particular woman is pregnant. Hey, Kimberly, at the moment. Okay. The woman with the blue eyes in front of you with the curly hair, beautiful woman. That's her husband or fiance or whatever. And so I took a little walk over to her channel, scrolled through the YouTube streets in the Liddy vehicle. And when you look at her channel, you'll see that she pretty much is going against the grain, telling you that you should be in a relationship with people that you hate. You know, anything that goes against natural physics, okay? And so, as I said, this is nothing new to certain occult life, okay? If you practice occultism, then you know that this is a form of like voodoo, like hoodoo, like potion enticing, okay? Like a love potion, something that will attract any and all. So there's no sexual preference there, which could be kind of scary. And we're not going to forget about the fact that, you know, what if you attract the wrong thing? What if you attract something by using these body fluids, trying to trick somebody into, you know, being interested in you, hammer down, and you can't get rid of their ass? Okay. Hey, Keita, baby, welcome to Liddy City. All right, thumbs me up. Subscribe, sugar. Okay. And so we just blog hogging, having a little girl and men's talk. Hey, men's. All right. This is a joke. Okay. As if we don't have enough negative influence, they have heightened it up a notch and included a bit of witchcraft. And like I said, this is going viral. So as I was searching around, I also found this. They even have guides, okay, that tells you how to maximize your powers of pheromones, okay? Now, I'm not encouraging you to read these guides, okay? But what I'm letting you know is that the media, aka the media, is putting emphasis on witchcraft, basically. And there's so much more to get into, okay? But we're just going to go through one thing at a time. Listen, if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to the backup channel, it is on the ticker below. Subscribe. Do yourself a favor, okay? Both channels are and will be lit. So, yeah, in front of you, you see where there's even a guide on how to entice people. First of all, what happened to, you know, organic everything? Organic food, organic weather, organic breathing, organic relationships. You don't want to have to force somebody into anything. And I know I have a lot of ladies who laugh when I bring up the movie Pet Sematary, okay? But Chet, what about freaking Jason and all of the scary movies? You know, anytime you have to force something and try to bring something back from the dead or make something want you, or, you know, it never turns out right. So, you know, for any young person or even older people who are a bit gullible and naive, listen, this is danger. You understand me? Because you don't know what you're attracting and you might not be able to get rid of it. You might cause yourself a problem or two. So next, I want to take a look and a listen, okay, at something that I found other women, okay, who are advising people to, yeah, go ahead, Go on ahead and try to attract you a man, okay? Attract you a woman. Be the talk of the town. Take your coochie fluid and put it on the back of your neck and see how your night goes. Ooh, child. Let's get into it.
So I guess it's time for...
This is so sad. It's so sad. Y'all give me a second because I'm going to let you guys listen to how silly this is, which really is dangerous, okay?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but vabbing works. Vabbing 100% works. Like, what the fuck? I got offered 2 free drinks at the pool, and then a guy literally came back and gave me this. Like, what? What?
Vabbing at the gym for the first time.
You guys aren't gonna believe me. Okay, now I'm in the sauna, but it worked. The vabbing worked.
Single women have started to practice the dating tactic of vabbing, where they apply their V fluid on their pulse points to attract a lover. One has tried it out in the gym. If vampire facials and faux freckle treatments have you convinced that beauty trends cannot get any more bizarre, think again. As the TikTok trend of vabbing indicates, it seems that we will forever be awash with downright weird, strange beauty hacks. The above term is a trend that has recently gone viral for its unconventional methods of attracting a man. Vabbing is the act of a woman putting her V fluid on her pulse points to, in theory, attract potential lovers through your pheromones. A bit like a coochie-scented perfume. Boudram tested the theory that a person's signature scent could attract partners as part of her book, The Game of Desire. 3 women were sent into a bar, first wearing no perfume, then wearing the residue from their coochie canal on their pulse points. Her lady all reported feeling more confident to approach and flirt and noticed that people were leaning toward them more. The trend recently got picked up on TikTok again, with creators urging women to use this makeshift perfume in order to increase their attractiveness to potential mates. Really not. Remember that there is little to no actual science supporting this trend, but there does appear to be a rising body of hearsay. So, accept this trend with caution.
Join us same place, same channel for your news.
Hammer down. And y'all gonna tell me we're not in a new world of an order? I mean, they're putting this stuff right in front of your face, and they think because they put it on a talk show or make it, put it on some type of a funny skit that it's not dangerous and it can't be identified for what it is. Trust me, in this age of Aquarius, many people are waking up. People are not asleep anymore. Beware, don't be square. It's time to wake up. Y'all, okay? Now I know a lot of y'all might be shook up, but listen, it's just time to accept the fact that we have to be spiritually protected, okay? This is a new age, a new world, and these things are right in front of your face. And what's more important is that a lot of the media thinks that people are asleep, people are slow. They know that they've spent trillions of dollars programming you, distracting you. And 9 times out of 10, even if this stuff is put right in front of your face, you probably won't do anything about it. Now, I did have a lot of, things I wanted to touch on this session of Blog Hogging in the Midday with Loca, okay? But I think we're going to stick to the emphasis that's been put on sexualizing the culture, okay? One of them being this, all right? Now, you guys have heard of the infamous rose. Now, I'm not saying that there's, I know a lot of people, God, how can I put this? As I said, the disclaimer is out, okay? And so there may be some things that I mentioned that could be, considered a bit explicit, okay? But you know, it just is what it is. You guys have heard of the infamous rose that went viral for prompting people to masturbate, okay? They've got more things out. Just one moment, y'all. I got something I got to do. Thumbs up the live. Feel free to support this midday show. One moment. Okay, and so everywhere we look, the media is pressing sex, sex, sex. Do it, do it, do it. Okay, now they're even telling you to spread your do it fluid on your body parts. And before we move on, I don't want you to forget, okay, that there are some massive name brand perfumes that have pheromones in them as well. And so as a consumer, you should be asking yourself, where do they get these pheromones? Like, you know, I don't want to get in no troubles. Okay, I ain't trying to get sued or nothing. But some of your biggest name brands, like, okay, for instance, put your favorite name brand perfume in the comments really quick if you don't mind. Okay, I'm going to give y'all time to do that because we're going to do a little exercise here. And I might just blow your mind. Okay, put some of your favorite name brand perfumes in the comments really quick, please. Let's take about 2 minutes to do that. And then I have a little surprise that might just drop your jaw. All right. Okay. Thank y'all for that. Y'all got some good taste, bitch. Y'all got some good taste. But almost every perfume that was put in the chat has pheromones added to it. Okay. Now ask yourself, are these animal pheromones? Are these dead people pheromones? Where are they getting these pheromones from? And so I guess the next best suggestion would be before you go out and buy another bottle, because I gotta be honest, I can't lie. I'm a perfume freak. Okay. And every day I learn and every day I strive to grow. None of us are exempt. None of us are perfect. Okay. If you can't do better if you don't know any better. But once I burden you with the no, it then becomes your responsibilities. Thank me later. I hate to do it, but I got to. Pheromones is in every last one of those perfumes that you all put in the chat. Okay. And so they've been doing this secretively. It's just that now all of a sudden, you know, they're prompting you to practice the ritual as well. Okay. So yes, pheromones are inclusive in all of your favorite perfumes. All right. And you think about it. We've talked about this on the midday show. If I ask the women and the men's in the chat, what's one of the most attractive things? What attracts you the most to the same sex or the opposite sex? You're going to say a man that smells good, right? Even Chanel, mainly that one you said, sunshine and moonbeams. Okay. Mainly that one. You can go Google it right now, baby girl. Loca ain't gonna lie to you. Okay. But what I'm saying is, if I say, hey, Liddy members, hey, Liddy women's, what's your favorite? What attracts you the most? You're gonna say a woman or a man that smells good. Okay. And so you don't think that these people who have made millions and billions of dollars from selling you smell goods don't know this? Okay. The people that control everything know most of everything. You're the one that doesn't know. Hammer down. Okay. I'm just here to break the ice. Now, I got to do some shout outs before I forget, because as I mentioned, you know, I really appreciate the fact that I'm getting a little bit of support on these middays. That's a bit of encouragement for me, because I have a lot of information that I'd like to spread. Okay. And we have to do it gradually. So ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of encouragement, bitch. Okay. First, I want to shout out Miguel. Okay. And I'm going to do that right along with Mama Debbie. All right. So shout out to Miguel. And y'all know this thing is running slow. Baby, if it was my way, it'll be back to back. Shout out to Miguel for the one time. Shout out to Mama Debbie for the 2 times. Thank y'all for helping me water that money tree.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Okay, I appreciate them super chats. I do, hammer down. So yes, you know, I'm sure you Googled it by now, Sunshine. Did I lie or not? Okay. Yeah, there's a whole lot of secrets and a whole lot of exposure that can go on, but it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. And so, you know, I feel like eventually we can get to it little bit by little bit. This is why I suggest that anybody that hasn't had a chance to join the membership, listen, it goes down. You can find the link to my membership on my community wall. I feel like there is a tier to fit everyone's budget. Okay. Now, I hear somebody saying, can't hear you. I don't know why. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So if you can just flame it up for the one time, let me know you can hear me. All right. I would appreciate that. And don't forget to thumbs up the live. Can y'all hear me? Okay, great. Y'all can hear me. Now we can proceed. Okay, this is important. Let's go on to the next feature on this midday show. Since we're talking about the enhancement of, you know, sexuality, like this whole press, the press is pressing that everything you do. Okay, thank you, Keita, baby. Yes, the press is pressing that everything you do involves something sexual. Okay, and that is strange and suspicious to me, right? If whatever you turn on, it's all about sex, from your videos to your favorite daytime TV, even your damn talk shows. It's all about sex, 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 sex. Now, I know a lot of people enjoy it, but it should be a sacred thing. And so in this day, it's not sacred anymore. Okay. And, you know, from what we just showed, it's almost like even, you know, platforms like TikTok are trying to introduce the youth to being over-sexualized as well. Okay. Now, speaking of that, we talked about that rose, right? That infamous rose that went viral. They're telling you, you know, get your masturbation on, play with yourself. Excuse my French. Okay. But that's what they're saying. And so that rose has really just blew up. Okay. I mean, you know, I don't have one, but, you know, it's almost like everybody in their mammy got one of them roses. Okay. Well, you know, we talked about witchcraft. We talked about satanic worshiping, right? Satanism, okay? And now look at this. Rose Babes' new Tongue Me Down made me feel identical to a real tongue. Excuse me, okay? When I look at that, that don't look like no some of my bitch's tongue, I know, okay? But I'll tell you whose tongue it does look like. Don't forget about the demons, incubus and succubus, the sex demons, okay? They'll come to you in your sleep. They'll come to you in your dreams. That looks like the tongue of Satan. Who would want that on them? Not me, bitch, okay? Let's take a quick listen. If y'all don't mind, let's hear something. Well, maybe there's nothing to hear. But yes, you see it. It's flimsy and, you know, it looks like the damn tongue of Satan. But, you know, they're prompting you to go out and buy this. They're pushing you to go out and get this. Get the rose, which there's a symbolic meaning to that rose as well, okay? Then they're telling you, go get this tongue that looks like the tongue of Satan, okay? And if that whole ordeal,
Crystal Yoni.
as if that whole ordeal with the pheromone thing wasn't enough. Hey, Noondi, my baby. Then, you know, take a look at this, okay? It doesn't stop there. So all I'm here to do is remind you that this thing is becoming massive, okay? Goddess Detox, Yussi Power is a love experience in a bottle. Wealthy Women is going to help you get a bag, okay? Both washes are plant-based with crystals inside and affirmations geared toward the yoni, aka the punani, okay, on the bottle. Oh man, are y'all in here? Okay, feel free to support this channel. I'm giving you the juice, okay, so to speak. I don't know if that was the right word. This product is for my bougie self-care goddesses, bitch. Don't include me in that, okay? I might have to bust you in your mouth. I ain't got nothing to do with that, all right? Well, I can't believe they even use that word, that want to infuse the energy of the right, of love right, onto their yoni. Okay, it says Goddess Detox is a spiritual woman's wellness company helping women reconnect to themselves through their herbal and flower powered products. Oh no, okay, this is no different than that whole vabbing thing. It's another form of it, okay? So just like what I told you about the secret pheromones that probably come from animals or aliens, we don't know, that's included in your favorite perfume, they're not hiding it anymore, okay? They're putting it right in front of your face. And so this product is said to enhance your sexuality, to make your bag a little bit bigger. They even said that they have done rituals, which would be affirmations, okay? All an affirmation is a ritual, okay? Chanting, saying something over and over and over. And so they're doing this in mass production, okay? And putting it in a bottle, all right? Then they went on to tell you that there's crystals in here, okay? Now, how many of y'all know about gemstones and crystals, bitch? Okay? Don't play with it. All right, this is why it's important to join the membership, because we do have to have a little bit of privacy. We can't expose everything because y'all know YouTube don't like that. And so we have to be discreet and use code words when we're saying things. All right. But I know that the people that dwell in Liddy City are highly discerned, and you can do the math. And I always encourage everybody to do your own research. Crystals and gems are nothing to play with. As a matter of fact, it's the very thing that got us stuck here on this earth realm in human flesh, right? Energies, the light benders, playing with crystals, the tall blacks versus the short blacks. They had a battle and they put the crystals on a beam. One of them used a black crystal, and here we are today. Crystals are not nothing to play with. They are a very high source of energy, okay? And if you're not knowledgeable on how to use crystals, you shouldn't even have them, okay? But that is another form of witchcraft, and they putting it in a bottle. All right, let's listen to what they have to say, okay? Make sure you're spiritually guarded and guided. This thing ain't no joke. Take a listen to the advertisement on TikTok.
Body washes. 1. Pump. 2. Speak an affirmation into phone. 3. Wash your yoni. 1. Pump. 2. Speak an affirmation into phone. 3. Wash your yoni. How do you
And then they're telling you to wash your yoni with it. You know, you ever heard of cursing the womb? I'm just putting it out there, bitch, okay? Cursing the womb. Finally, okay, on Blog Hogging in the Midday, I want to do a follow-up on something that we touched on yesterday, which absolutely would be inclusive with this whole sexual extravaganza that's going on. Okay, we mentioned this Instagram model. That's what she used to look like in front of you. Okay, this is what she looks like today, skin and bones, almost near death. All right. Tasha K did an interview with her. I did get that interview. Okay, I might make it a members only so we can go over some of the things that were talked about in that interview. But this Instagram model, Gina 2, reacts to new outlets linking her with certain celebrities after opening up about her journey with AIDS. Okay, don't forget she mentioned that she didn't even know she had AIDS, but she did go on to say that once she discovered she had it, the doctors told her that she had to be a carrier for at least 8 to 10 years to be in such a bad state right now. 10 years. That's a long time to spread whatever you got.
Everyone keeps asking how I got AIDS. I didn't know I had.
I lost mobility in my legs, so I can't walk or stand right now. But I do do my therapy every day, and I do take my pills every day like I'm supposed to. I take 5 pills a day.
5 pills a day.
This will be the last
and
time
this is her
I
now.
don't know how long you've been here, but yeah, I've been down here probably about 20 minutes before you. Ready?
Wow. Okay. I mean, if this ain't a lesson, I don't know. Now, unfortunately, we had to gather because there are more people to add to this whole fiasco, this whole unfortunate thing. Okay. We heard names like Chris Brown being mentioned, names like Nick Cannon being mentioned. But if you paid attention to my thumbnail, there is another rapper added to the roster. Okay. That would be Chief Keef. All right. Now, Chief Keef doesn't make a whole lot of music like he used to, but he's known for, I forgot what that type of rap is that he does, but he has been said to have slept with Gina as well. And there are allegedly many other celebrities that have not been mentioned or have come forward. Okay. So yesterday when we brought this up, we talked about the fact that we didn't think that Nick Cannon or Chris Brown would come forward anytime soon and speak on it. Okay. So really quick, I want to follow up with what we said. Okay. I feel like Chris Brown did actually speak on it. The title of this video says Chris Brown speaks on the Insta model admitting to AIDS. Now, don't forget, yesterday he had a video release of one of his hits. Okay. A recent release. You know, Chris Brown is iconic, a very talented young man, but he definitely either looked like he was either on some type of a drug or ill. I mean, there are pictures floating around of Chris Brown looking a mess. Okay. He actually does not look like the Chris Brown that's on the banner in front of us, on the thumbnail in front of us. Okay. Chris Brown has circles around his eyes. His eyes are sunk in. He's hollow in the face. Okay. And, you know, not even makeup can help on some of those pictures that we've seen floating around. Okay. Now I'm going somewhere with this, so y'all bear with me. All right. Hey, Rose. So what he did was he came out and he did a couple of interviews over the past few months. No, he did not refer or speak about having a sexual encounter with this young woman who openly admitted to being HIV infected or AIDS infected. Okay. But what he did do was release his video to the song called Under the Influence, okay? And if you listen to the lyrics of the video that was just released yesterday called Under the Influence, the lyrics, let's just see if we can go to it. The lyrics he talks about in the lyrics on how when you're under the influence, anything goes, okay? Anything goes when you're under the influence. All right, I'm gonna turn this down. Okay, and I'm gonna read these words out to you all. I'm gonna speed it up, and I'm gonna read these words out to you. And in my mind, that was a way of kind of explaining without explaining. He says, can't be Percocets or Molly. I'm turning one, trying to live it up here. Right. Okay. Then he says, bring it over here to my place and you might be my baby tonight. Who cares? Okay. He says, I don't know what you did. You did it to me. Your body language speaks to me. Okay. I mean, if this is not, subliminally speaking to the situation, I don't know what is. Okay. Tie it up. He says, put a chain on it, make you tattoo my name on it, right? He says, make you cry like a baby. Yeah, let's go, pro. Make a video. Yeah, under the influence, okay? Basically saying anything goes when you're under the influence. Then he says words like, baby, don't do it to me. Baby, who cares, okay? You don't know what you did, but it's done. That type of thing that's pretty much giving out a subliminal message to the youth that when you're under the influence, whether somebody's infected or not, just do whatever that thing is that you're influenced by tells you to do. Okay. And hell, he even speaks of a bit of pheromones in this video. All you got to do is listen to the video, go read the lyrics, and it is very strange and suspicious. Okay. Before I get into the more serious part, I'd like to touch on the fact that, Nick Cannon was one of those people. Now, in front of us, one of those people who was said to have had numerous endeavors with this woman named Gina. Okay. But don't forget, Nick now in this day has 8 children. 8. So here is a picture of him and his new baby mother. Okay. Now, ain't that much good you'll see in the world, okay? I mean, Nick got about 10 newborns right about now in this moment, all right? So they just had a little baby. I mean, praise God about the baby. I mean, babies can be blessings or lessons. We've talked about that before, but I mean, how is this woman supposed to feel with this type of news coming out involving her baby father? We don't give a damn if he's famous or not. Okay, congrats, says the neighborhood talk. Shout out to them. Nick Cannon and Bree TC welcome their new son, making Nick a father of 8. Yes, he's aging rapidly. Keita, come on in. I was just about to say that, baby. He looked like he done, made 8 babies in the last 8 months. Okay, I mean, damn it. Okay. Bree Ties, which is the baby mother, she writes on her Instagram, she says, I did it. An all-natural, unmedicated home birth. This was the most humbling, limit-pushing, yet awakening and completely empowering experience. I can't thank my team enough for delivering my son safely. This experience has changed me forever, and I couldn't have asked for a more amazing and supportive partner. Daddy showed the F up for us. I couldn't have done it without you. I can't believe he's here. Now, there's nothing wrong with being grateful for being blessed with a baby, okay? There's nothing wrong for giving your baby fathers props, all right? But just the simple fact that Nick has been identified to be one of the people that have slept with this woman who has full-blown AIDS and has several newborn babies out here right here in this moment, I feel like he should come out and speak about it, not only for the comfort of his baby mothers, okay, but for the comfort of his children. How come these celebrities never come out and give you awareness lectures or awareness discussions? I find that very strange and suspicious indeed. They never really use their influence for something positive and impactful. I'm just saying, okay? Now, Instagram model linked to numerous celebs nearly died from AIDS after going untested for almost 10 years. So don't be surprised if many other male and females come out and say that they had an experience with this woman. Now, we also don't want to forget about hidden agendas, okay? It's awfully strange and suspicious that right around the time where Chris Brown tries to release his new songs, okay, and his new video, this pops up. It's awfully strange and suspicious that right around the time where Nick Cannon's podcast and the delivery of his babies is here, that this pops up, okay? So we know that the higher ups, so to speak, are very, sneaky with the type of things that they do. And they have a different type of sense of humor. Okay. But we have learned through past experience and witness that none of these entertainers, so to speak, they always get humiliated some type of way. And things never really turn out right. Now, as I mentioned yesterday on the midday, what else is strange and suspicious is that the media is also pushing this narrative of having a so-called cure for the AIDS virus, okay? Right around the time where these young melanated men, all right, are being accused of possibly being infected. Now the media is saying, oh, well, don't worry, we have a cure, okay? An Instagram model who has been linked to numerous celebrities nearly died from AIDS, okay? Gina, too, spoke about her experience in a video posted on Monday, telling her followers that she doesn't know when or how she contracted this virus, but noted her doctor said it had to have been in her system for at least 8 to 10 years. She also revealed she hadn't gotten tested during that entire time, period, okay? Only got tested once. The symptoms became noticeably debilitating in the past, okay? So that's a very dangerous game to play. And as I mentioned, Chief Keef is now added to that roster, okay? Chief Keef, a Chicago native, right? Chi-Town native, a hood Niji. Ain't no telling who he done had encounters with. I mean, when you look at him, I mean, everybody's taste is different, but he ain't my type of shack shit, okay? And so, when you of the hood, when you in the hood, you do things of the hood. And so what if he's a potential carrier as well? And then he's, having these hood experiences with regular girls and boys maybe, okay? And they have no idea, all right? Don't forget about certain agendas where you have to do certain things if you want that stardom and that fame, okay? Before we get out of here, I want to remind the people of this. The media said they have a solid cure. Scientists claim a 5th person has reportedly been cured of HIV, but procedure could be fatal for some, okay? So they're saying that scientists are claiming that they got a cure. Don't worry. You can go around and sleep with whoever you want. You can go around and spread your infected juices to everybody. We got a cure, right? All I'm saying is don't be fooled. Protect the eyes and the ears of the youth, okay? There's something in the air that is a bit strange and suspicious. And we know that there's being games played everywhere. Okay. So that is pretty much the update with the update. All right. Before we get up out of here, the last thing I want to talk about is our follow-up on Sesame Street, the Sesame Street encounter that went on with the young lady or some young little Black kids, okay, that were ignored by the employees or the characters of Sesame Street. Okay, now I'm looking for that banner so I can give you all the visual. And of course, if I can't find it, then I just can't find it. Okay. But the follow-up is that, we talked about the racial bias that was video recorded, okay, which was a good thing for, the families that felt like that, prejudice was shown towards them. They had viral videos going around showing certain Sesame Street characters ignoring little Black kids, and being acceptance of everybody else. And so thank goodness this was caught on camera. Okay. So what I'd like to do is read you guys the update really quick. Okay. So here's the follow-up. Baltimore family files a $25 million lawsuit against Sesame Place for alleged racial discrimination. Earlier this month, Sesame Place faced backlash after a New York mother shared a now viral video of her daughters and niece and seemingly being ignored by one of the characters at Sesame Place. The video caused many other families to share videos of their children seemingly also being ignored as well. Now, one family in Baltimore has filed a lawsuit against the theme park alleging that their child was discriminated against. Okay, so according to CBS Philly, the Burns family out of Baltimore has filed a $25 million class action lawsuit alleging that the 5-year-old Kennedy Burns was discriminated against when the family visited the theme park back in June the 18th. Okay, the family's attorney, Malcolm Ruff, spoke out and said she was ignored amongst a sea of other young white children who were able to interact, give hugs, give fives. At least 4 of the characters from the park are accused of refusing to interact with Kennedy and other Black guests. Okay. We got into that. If you haven't had a chance to, get into that story, we covered it right here in Liddy City on Blog Hogging with Loca. Okay. Let's take a quick listen to the update.
The now viral video where New York mother alleges her Black daughter and niece were passed over in favor of white children.
We look forward to addressing that claim through the established legal process. We are committed to deliver an exclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience for all guests. Oh, well, Sesame Street. Okay, I never liked the Sum of My Bucks anyway, all right? I'm just going to be honest, but they done got slapped with a lawsuit, bitch, okay? And so ain't nothing they can say now. They might as well shut the buck up because it's over, okay? So congratulations to that family in Baltimore. And don't forget, this is a class action lawsuit. And also don't forget that there were many videos that surfaced, that would insinuate racism after this particular family went viral with their experience. Okay, so that is a step, and it is also a great example for regular people to not be afraid to stand up against these bigger engines, these bigger entities. Okay, and so I'm proud that they went ahead and stood up for what they thought was right, especially when it is involving children. All right, I think that will conclude this session of Blog Hogging in the Midday with Loca. I want to shout out everybody who tapped into the live. Please be sure to leave a comment below. Thumbs up the live. Thank you all for supporting the channel, whether it was through comments or monetary support. It is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe and set your notification bell for the next session of Blog Hogging in the Midday with Loca. It's a beautiful midday, and we ain't gonna have it no other way. Special shout out to my mods. Special shout out to all my ladies, members and all. And until next time, y'all, I holla. Much love.